These messages are for Taurus, and it's not for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What I do is I do readings for where you have Taurus in your chart. So this is how the energy is presenting itself in whatever house you have Taurus. I do the readings for the full moon, new moon, and in between on the quarter moons, I do North Node and South Node. I am doing this reading actually on the Taurus full moon, but it is timeless when this finds you. There is probably a message in here for you. There will be various messages for various people. I ask that the strongest messages for the highest good of all come through. You will notice that my voice changes because I do channel these messages, and often that will influence how I speak. With that, we will begin with the tea leaves, and we may move on to other cards if it is I am called to by my guides. But we shall begin. Elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. And so I channel in voices. Taurus. This is not new to you. Why are you thinking it would be a quick hop and a step and everything works out great? Your Taurus energy knows a commitment is long, long term. The elephant's heart is huge, and its mind never forgets its birthplace. Its heart never forgets. You're loyal to a journey. Do not forget your loyalty to what your heart knows is the right journey for you. Many of you listening, you are currently in situations and having journeys not meant to last. And those, you know, if you're not meant to last in a situation, or a situation or person is not meant to last in your life. And you're not who I'm speaking to in this commitment, this long term. We are not talking sprints or marathons. We are talking migration. You intuitively and instinctively know the direction you are going, no matter how much your mind doubts it. Trust your intuition. You are on your great migration. End of message. There is another one in this deck. Chair, empty. Someone is leaving your life. No, don't worry. It's not a threat. It's not that there's someone about to kick the bucket. Don't worry about that. Someone is leaving your life. For many of you, it's a character. It's a role you've been playing, and it's not you. And you know it's not you. And you're done being it. You're done pretending. And you're not going to do it anymore. And that's okay. There's no sense in being a chameleon. And I'm not going to say, well, I'm going to say it obviously, because now I'm going to say I'm not going to say that. But this is not about a snake shedding its skin. You're not a snake. And some of you might have been feeling like one. You're more like a butterfly, more like a bird. And those of you who've been playing the chameleon, you know what character is not you. You know behaviors that don't match your character, and it's time to let them go. end of message on that. I do feel like that one I wanted to end with saying, for those of you this is meant for, you know exactly what it is that that message was talking about, what characteristic, behavior, or so forth. There's another one in here. We have boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Wait, bear with me as I try and channel this in. It's difficult because you don't want to have to work any harder than you are, and I know you're tired. The idea of increasing your effort on something you feel like every muscle in your body is strained and you can't do anymore. Which brings the question of, they say, work hard, work smarter, not harder. But there are parts that you are working with and trying to bring into this that are not of any use. They only slow you down. Time to reassess. What does not belong? What drags you? And really has no contribution to your desired outcome. You will move faster, more swiftly, and with less effort if you identify those things now and eliminate them. For some of you, you can eliminate them. They're people, but you are allowed to set boundaries and say, this time is my reserved time for myself to do this, and I am not to be interrupted. And then you will go and address and be there for those people at the designated time that you have set for them. But you need to reserve time for yourself. That will expedite the process. End of message. There is more in this deck, but I believe I need to go. Oh, shush. I'm just going to knock things over, okay? There's something about that. I feel like that was part of the last message. It's just sort of like you're kind of crowding my space. I don't always remember channel messages, and it really just let them flow through and listen to a little bit of them as they come out. But the way that I just bumped that up, it's almost like you're crowding my space. That's part of the message that needed to come through. And if you're feeling that sense of your space is crowded and you need to, some of you might just need to eliminate, you have too many hobbies going on, and craft hoarder comes to mind. Personally guilty of being that myself, don't worry. But I think that's kind of an extension of that last message there, is that, you know, you need that space. You need to clear out. Some of you need to just go around the house, gather up all of those things that you bought that were projects to do, and just the sight of them around is delaying you, even though you're not even getting to those projects. Pack them up. If it can't be used as is, and it can't be used as a craft supply, you can trash, recycle. Other than that, you can also donate or sell. Okay. But don't get too hung up on the having to sell all this stuff, because then that's just going to be another mess of things that is going to distract you and take up your time. Okay. Let's see what else is in here. What is for the highest good? That needs to be spoken now. Cobweb. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. Cobweb came up in the general reading for everyone under the full moon. That's a timeless reading, of course, I'm supposed to say. But Cobweb tells you a little something different in this reading than in the general for everyone full moon. There was the destination wasn't ready. But for you, it's actually kind of different here. You need to dust off something you've forgotten. I think the last one said that somebody had too many hobbies. You, on the other hand, you've forgotten a hobby, and you need to get back to it. Those night classes you were thinking of taking, maybe it's time. Just some housekeeping. Internal spiritual housekeeping too. There are a lot of cobwebs on your dreams. A lot of cobwebs on what you love to do. Go brush off the cobwebs. You go be you. It's time for you. That is the end of the message with that. And we're 11 minutes. Is there another deck? For some reason, okay, I'm going to pull... There was something in the Seasons of the Witch, Beltane Oracle. Did I tell you earlier that various voices would come out as I channel? Like I said, I don't remember what I'm talking about in these things. They kind of come through. Oh, okay. That's the card they want to put out. Okay. All right, something just jumped in the room. Let's see. Indulgence, 19. You are worth every desire and every dream. Demand what is yours. Demand what you need. I know the card says indulgence, but demanding respect for who you are and for what your calling is and your purpose is here in life. It's not an indulgence. Claim your power. Know your purpose. Even the moon card and the moon bathing in it. This is a full moon message, and there is the full moon, right there, to shine on you. Being who you are and doing what you're meant to do is not an indulgence. Okay, a little bit of static on the end of that one, but that wanted to come through, so I'm going to put that card back. I did... At the beginning of this reading, get called to use this archetypes deck. I don't know what this is, but I feel like something about there's different people you're working with, dealing with, so we may pull a couple archetypes. We're at 14 minutes now, so let's go. Visionary. Capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Remember how you are a visionary. I know it seems like it's all gone stale, but you have to look back, look in. There are hopes and dreams you had in the past and you've forgotten about them, and they're kind of like a letter you wrote to yourself once and put on the desk, and then you just let the mail pile up on top of it, the bills, and all that junk mail that comes. Why haven't you thrown away the junk mail? You need to clean off the desk, because at the bottom of all that mess is a letter and a promise you once wrote to yourself. And it's time you read that letter, remembered, and fulfilled what you promised. That was somebody's inner child trying to get through to you. Okay. I don't know if there is another one, and I don't know if I have the energy for another one, because these are not easily channeled through, but something is playing with my voice. So I believe there is something else that wants to come through. Just one more I will channel through. So please do send the most important message that needs to be shared now for the highest good of whoever will be here. Rescuer, light attributes, provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. You're a poet. That is the poet voice coming through. I will hold this card up. You are a spoken word poem. You stand on a stage and you speak a truth and a wisdom that others do not know how to say for themselves. It is your voice, your language. When you speak for yourself, you don't realize right now that the words you speak for yourself are the words someone else can't find to speak for themselves. Do not be silent. Okay. Yeah, I feel like there's like a spoken word poet in there somewhere. One more, I'm being told. God, light attributes. Benevolent and compassionate, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. I'm being called to read the shadow attributes. Despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. I'm being cautious with whatever message wants to come through on this. Okay, I do try to stay out of politics, but there is an importance here. I am blocking the message personally from coming through. I will try to remove myself from this. I may not be able to give you the message on this. You may need to use your intuition. It is something along the lines of I don't want to use like a false god kind of thing, but we can be devoted to those who just want to control us. And my ego is in the way of the channel coming through, but I will try to give you the information as clear as possible. And the essence of this is that we can allow others who think they're better than other people and better than us. We can allow them to stay in that position and play along with that and minimize ourselves. But it is very important to remember that anything that is God, anything that is source, anything that is spirit will never come to you in a way that says you are less than them. It will come in a way to say you are greater than you realize because you are a part of me. And this is the gift that I have intended for you to bring to this world. This is the gift you agreed to come into the world to bring. And I am here to help you, empower you to bring that gift. I'm not translating that in the perfect sense. There is more that needed to go into that. For those of you that have this message coming to you and it's meant for you, you'll be able to piece together exactly what the full message was. And I just want to call before we end this. We were just talking about the spoken word poet, and I realized, like, sitting on my lap down here, the other part of the split on this was actually the poet. So I'm just going to read this and then we'll close it out. And it's, you know, in its light attributes, expresses soul insights in symbolic language. And then I don't even need to read this shadow aspect, because whoever it's for, you are absolutely in the most positive and helpful aspect of this. But in its shadow attribute, turns a lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. There's a little correlation with this God thing on that. I think there are people who do speak things. I'm putting my ego in when I go there. Anytime I go, I think, I need to stop myself there, because then I am putting an ego into the reading that is my own. I will end that there. Each of these readings are done for the sign, for the placement that you have it in your chart. So really, you have all the signs in your chart. You're welcome to check out any of the readings. Okay, I'm drained out from that, and I don't know what to say anything else. But if you didn't catch a message in here that resonated with you, you can hop around to the other videos, because they are, you know, wherever you have Sagittarius, that Sagittarius message may correspond with what's going on in that house for you. So just feel free to float around and check out whatever you are drawn to.